Hello and welcome to the Literature Therapy. Today is one of those let's make this concrete videos because bibliotherapy sounds like a word that should come with paperwork or at least a certification stamp. In reality, most people are already halfway doing it. They just don't have a name for it, and that usually makes things feel more complicated than they are. So today, let's talk about what it actually looks like in practice. Not theory, not definitions, a session, a real one. First, a correction that matters more than it should. Bibliotherapy is not a book club. It is not, let's all read the same book and discuss feelings in a circle. It is also not therapy in the clinical sense. It sits somewhere else entirely, slightly adjacent, and quietly specific. If I had to describe it without the usual vocabulary, I'd say it looks like this. A conversation about where your mind actually is, not where you think it should be, not your current goals, just where you are. That part is important because most people don't start there. They start with books. What should I read? Give me a list. Best books for anxiety, heartbreak, focus, motivation. But in a real bibliotherapy framework, I usually stop that immediately because the book comes second. The first question is always, what is happening in your inner life right now? And people don't always answer that cleanly. They'll say things like, I'm fine, just tired, or a bit overwhelmed, or nothing specific, just stuck, which is usually already the real answer. So we stay there for a bit. Then comes the second step, and this is where bibliotherapy stops being aesthetic and starts being practical. We translate emotional states into reading conditions, not genres, condition. For example, if someone is emotionally overloaded, I don't give them complex narratives, I don't give them dense theory, I don't give them anything that demands retention. I might give them short essays, fragmented writing, poetry that doesn't require them to hold too much in their head at once. If someone is emotionally numb, the opposite problem, I don't give them comfort books. Comfort books don't always work there. I give them something slightly precise, something that forces a small emotional reaction without overwhelming them. If someone is grieving, I don't try to fix the grief through reading. That would be absurd. I look for texts that can tolerate silence, books that don't rush to resolve anything. This is usually where people expect a neat list. There isn't one, because bibliotherapy is not about the book, it is about the timing of the book in relation to the person. The idea is simple. We read to know we are not alone. Bibliotherapy takes that seriously, but also adds something slightly less poetic. We read to notice what kind of loneliness we are actually in. Because not all loneliness is the same. Sometimes it's social, sometimes it's cognitive, sometimes it's emotional overstimulation where everything feels too loud at once. Sometimes it's just being tired of your own thoughts. Different books meet those differently. Then comes the reading itself. And this part is almost disappointingly simple. You read slowly enough to notice when your attention leaves the page. That's it. That's the skill. Not speed, not quantity, not completion. Attention. And this is where the second half of the practice begins. Writing. Not essays, not journaling as performance, just one blank page. A record of what the reading did to you, not what it was about, what it did. Sometimes people write nothing. That also counts. Sometimes they copy a sentence. Sometimes they argue with the book. Sometimes they realize halfway through that they've been thinking about something entirely unrelated. All of that is valid data in this context. A bibliotherapy session in practice is just that loop. Where are you emotionally? What kind of book matches that? Slow reading, brief writing, noticing what changed, if anything. No transformation guaranteed. No emotional breakthrough promised. Just contact with language, with attention with yourself in a slightly less avoidant state than before. And I think sometimes that's enough, because that could be just the first step.